Cogent Breeding are an AI company from UK roots, born out of the Grosvenor farm, but we're part of the ST Genetics group, which has got a global footprint and growing rapidly around the world. Well, the next 12 months is going to be a turbulent year for dairy farmers, and it's going to be an interesting market dynamics. We've got a milk price dip, but a really buoyant beef price. And our real focus is going to be helping dairy farmers maximize the return on investment they get with the money that they spend with us as customers, but also maximizing the investment they're making in genetics and their herd of cows in general. The market's it's almost very polarized. You've got some farmers who are on a reasonable milk price, maybe not as bad as the others, although it is a downturn, and you've got other farmers who are really struggling with a very low milk price. And I think it's just looking at every scenario and every situation differently and looking at what are the opportunities that the farmers have got to extract a little bit more value and not take too many short-term decisions. Genetics is a long-term game for us, and it's important that we don't leave a hole further down the line. One of the biggest challenges we've got in a milk price dip is farmers tend to use a lot of beef semen, try and cut some cost out of the business. But the challenge we've got in the UK at the moment is we're on the brink of a heifer shortage, and we know that through the lack of imports from Europe, people have used a lot of beef semen in the last few years just because of the real high beef price. So it's about managing the heifer inventory, making sure that farmers are utilising the herd to extract, maximise genetic gain, utilise the best of those animals for the dairy replacements, and then optimising the number of beef calves that are available to them. A couple of top tips, I think, would be to not lose sight of the long term. Genetics from us is a long-term game. It takes 9 months for a pregnancy on its own just to get through the system. So I think, don't get too bogged down in the short term and really focus on that heifer inventory side of things. I think to run short heifers in the future, heifers are going to be expensive to buy.